Hey everybody, Nick Licameli here. Today we're talking about one of my favorite stretches that I do in my lower body warm-up as well as my upper body warm-up. I call it the deep squat lat stretch. It's going to help us get into a neutral spine and maintain that position, and it's also going to help improve the range of motion and function of our shoulders, which obviously are both very important when training the lower body and the upper body. Let's take a look. So here we go with the setup for the deep squat lat stretch. We're going to go near something sturdy, either a post or a bench like I'm doing here. Get down to a deep squat, let that lower back round, get a good stretch in those lats up high, and we're going to hold this position. In this position, we're going to make sure that as we're breathing deeply and imagining expanding our lower backs into more of that flexion position. This is going to help get us out of that more extended posture that a lot of us tend to be in throughout the day, but that we want to avoid, especially when we're performing anything like a squat or a deadlift or an overhead press. We want to avoid that hard extension in our lower backs, and we want to get into more of a neutral position. This gets hard if the lats are tight and restricted because the lats attach to the lower back and the pelvis. So they're going to help in the movement of that lumbar extension. So if they're tight, it's going to be harder to get out of that extended position. So this exercise stretches the lats from the top all the way down to the bottom and also works on our deep breathing. The lats also can restrict overhead range of motion, especially when performing pressing movements overhead. Tight or restricted lats are going to act like almost like a button-down shirt that's tucked in your pants. Right, so the button-down shirt is going to restrict you from reaching overhead because where it attaches into your pants around your waist is going to almost act like an anchor as you go to reach your arm up. So the tendency to compensate for restricted lats and restricted overhead range of motion is going to be to go into that arched position, that anterior pelvic tilt, because then you're going to be putting the lower end of the lats on slack to make more room above in your shoulder. So it's kind of like pulling the shirt out of your pants a little bit and allowing more range of motion as you raise your arm up overhead. And I'm going to link a few videos that I've done on all these topics down below. So the main goal of this exercise is to reduce some tone and restriction in the lats, which will help us get out of that extended lumbar position, help us feel more of a neutral position and help us maintain that, as well as free up some shoulder range of motion and prevent compensations down at the lower back. I'll do about 5 deep breaths, and on each exhale, I let my arms drift up further and my lower back round a bit more, which will increase that stretch on the lats with each exhale. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want, and we'll see you next time.